in the world, pretty much. All we have is the clouds that come through the jet stream and circulate the poison until everybody's gone. How much more? How much more do we need to learn? When is it the right time to do a good thing? I had so many people tell me, where were you 7 years ago? Where were you? Well, you know, a lot of these people have been doing this for 40 years, Uncle's telling me. I'm not even 40 years old, but when is it the right time to take a stand? When is it the right time to do a good thing? The time is now. The time is now to stand in humbled pride, prepared and fortified, and to resist comforts and compromise and pray for guidance. Because let me tell you what, you got Chile blowing up, the other side of one of the world's largest telescope. Chile blew up. Mount Everest is the most commonly compared mountain to Mauna Kea in the world. 1,800 people die. I did a headstand on Easter Sunday. I brought a lei to the volcano from Kailua, our first plumerias of the spring. That tree has since exploded with plumerias. And since the volcano is overflowing. So I don't know how many signs you need from the people, from nature, from everyone around us to tell you to stop right now. You know what repentance means? It means to stop right now and turn around and go the right direction. So you make a choice. Where are you gonna go? I represent the people of Hawaii, the people of the world, for the good of mankind and kind men everywhere. Because everybody here knows the will of man is stronger than the chains that bind them. That's it.
Mahalo.
Josh, I see you on Facebook all the time, so nice to put a face with the name.
Mahalo.
I would like to testify. Oh, gosh. You got Richard Hall, now you
Okay, and
opened it
then
up.
right there's number 3. We would like to, I'd like to consider.
Okay,
him to-
so, Chair, my recommendation to the chair, given the time, and we're gonna lose quorum, we only have the 4 left, okay? Only 4. So this gonna
That
be
okay,
this
everybody?
gentleman.
That-
Gonna be
that's
this
it,
gentleman, Moani Akaka, Richard Hahn, and then last week, Mr. Kawe. That's it, okay?
Testified before us 3 times already.
Well, I'm just saying that's 4. Let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Go ahead.
Aloha to all of you. First of all, I'd like to thank Kaho'okahi and Lana Kila for all that they've done concerning Mauna Kea. And there's this other gentleman, Mr. Jojo Henderson, that has won his case against having with driver's license, concerning driver's license and stuff. I welcome all the warriors, future warriors. I am disgusted with the old timers that have not been a good example for our up and coming warriors. I myself, you know, as a Kanaka being raised back whence, even though we did not have the opportunity to learn the language, my grandmother refused to teach us the language when we were keiki on Molokai. I mean, it starts from there, our language, and I was deprived of that. And then my mother going to Kamehameha, that wasn't an improvement on my life. That caused me to be further handicapped in my own homeland. She was not able to even express herself as a Kanaka because the system had been so contriving in what they did up at Kamehameha schools, and they still do that to this day. That must stop. Bottom line, I am of truth. I myself have been occupying Iolani Palace for the last 3 months. I welcome anybody that comes to the palace. All I expect, be of truth, be pono. I don't want any more lies. I'm tired of it as a kupuna. And I'm here to impress upon the kupuna that haven't passed yet, that I'm still there for them. The hell with the keiki of the future that are all contaminated by all that technology. Ole. So anyone that appreciates the significance of Mauna Kea as is, that's who we are as a people. We're spiritually connected. We are not having to get certified with PhDs and master's degrees at the university. Their university that was created with man-made certification. We are real people that are spiritually connected, period. No discussion from any PhD in this room. Enough already, okay? So just understand, the significance and the blessings of if a keiki was to come up to you, a keiki. That's who I am. Even though I'm 63 years old, I'm still that keiki yearning to be that kanaka that I was obligated to be. And I was not given the opportunity, yeah? So I welcome anyone that wants to take my place, as much as I've met some of these keiki that certainly have made me feel ashamed of not having had learned any of that. That wasn't my fault. It was part of the genocide that still continues today. Enough already. I just want truth. Don't lie to me anymore. Don't lie to our keiki especially. Aole, yeah, I won't have it. But I'm knowing it's my obligation now to learn my own language once again. And last year I got to meet this one gentleman that was the first gentleman to teach an Hawaiian language at Harvard University. And he made it very clear to me, Kalani, learn your own language first. And then he said, let's come together spiritually. We are responsible for what's going to happen throughout the world. It begins here in Hawaii. Aloha, and it's all truth. No more graying the truth. Enough already. Aole, that's not our color, it's gray. We are of light, pure light. That's who we are. Aole discussion with anyone that dares question me about my blood quantum or anything else concerning being the Kanaka that I know I am. Do not come up to me and tell me, who are you? No, Aole. We're going to ho'ohuli everything. It's up to you to do your due diligence in understanding whose aina you're in. You're in my country, not the other way around. Simple. And you folks, again, years ago, when I had the opportunity to vote, you folks were my last hope when OHA was created for us to be able, as Kanaka, to vote homogeneously in a system that was homogeneous, just exactly like what the Ku'e petition was all about back then. We were a homogeneous society, not a racist society as the system today tries to tell us that we are. No, we were creme de la creme of who we needed to be as the Creator knew He was creating us to be. It's that simple, no discussion. So again, I thank you very much for allowing me the opportunity.
Mahalo. Mahalo, Uncle. Just to remind everyone, we want to get to the vote, and I still have to allow for trustees to discuss.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've been here before, but I'm not going to talk about the same thing. What I'm going to talk about is this thing is about the Big Island. Yeah, and it's also an opportunity for our kids to think big, because the money that's coming into the education, and I've been in it for 7 years now, so I hardly recognize anybody in here, but I've been in here for 7 years, and the first time you guys voted, I promised Chair Apollyon that I would do everything possible to do the right thing, and I'll use one example. You know, the Think Fund never happened by accident, you know. We were on it, and we made sure that Hawaiian children could get 2 bites of the apple, to the extent of the law. But what I wanted to say is that, and one more example in Pau. You know, kids, you got to get them when they're young. This is not instant gratification where you're going to take care of the problem right now, and you know, it's a long-term deal. So you got to catch them when they're in elementary school. Here's an example. My dad's cousin, Frank Kamahele, was inspired to become an airplane pilot when he used to live on the beach in Maku'u, when no more roads. He had to go ride horse to get to Pahoa. But there were planes flying by doing bombing runs, practice, right by his house. And then they started to learn that here's this small kid was jumping up and down, waving at them. So they come by, turn sideways, wave at him, waggle the wings, do that. And then Frank told me, you know what? I knew from when I was 11 years old that I was going to be an airplane pilot. How unlikely is that? But he went to school, he went to UH, he became a bomber pilot, and you know what? He became the airport manager for the Big Island. Yeah? That's the kind of age we got to catch him. And it takes money. Us guys here, we all get our education. Nobody can take them away from us. We're looking at the next generation, the people that are not going to afford it. That's the people we got to, come here to your schools. And I'm in the same category. I got my education. You got to reach back, pull these people up, because they need help. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
One, we're gonna have Mr. Kawe, then he wants to share 1 minute, and then you're last. That's it. All okay.
Kolomai, it's only gonna be fast. If we did to you what you did to think, or say, repercussions unfortunately would be for me. You lock us up anyway. Realize, Lahui, the foe is the same, only time pass, they still rule a game. But see the difference between Ki'o and Lepo is just a manava right smack dab in the middle. The Ki'o is the shit that come out of your mouth, come out your ass. But the Lepo is the mana that grow the kalo and the grass. If recycling, renewable energy, going green in America is a big lie, look at another planet to save mankind. That's Hawaiian. But please use every other option before you try. But why, you ask, should you listen? I'm just a humble taro farmer, Kanaka Maoli. If I hold no land, no water, no hale, nor degree, I stand here as a humble taro farmer to declare for my kupuna and say, all at once, simultaneously, we become masters, I pray. When Kalo Farmer is a horticulturalist, biologist, zoologist, nutritionist, dietitian, entomologist, meteorologist, agronomist, astrologist, ecologist, hydrologist, volcanologist, gastronomist, herbalist, virologist, phenologist, dendrologist, pedologist, edaphologist, oceanographer, geologist, botanist, plant pathologist, agriculturalist, yeah, it's true. These are the professions that one man replaced, that's you. Who's the real pagan is what you call us, you see, but our ancients had written oral and theatrical history. We read clouds, winds, the stars, and season. Whenever nature happens, we already know the reason. We're an ethereal people on a different level. We free, passing down of Ike, moving forward, never stagnant were we. Our record of this evidence of truth is the kumulipo you see. The answers for the questions you seek is there, my earth friends. Not in the TMT. Mahalo.
This gentleman and Moani, you last.
Yes, and we're trying to get to the vote, okay?
Aloha mai kako.
Aloha.
Pea yaoko.
Okay, Mike.
Kamahavo.
Yeah.
My name is Eric Wahilani. Come from the land of Wahilani, Kalekini, Kalama, Chura, Mokuaha of Kalvinui Umi. I'm very kamaha. I'm going to be 50 years old pretty soon. And I'm a halunui law that we get young warriors in Lanakila, Ho'okahi, Havane, to take up the torch that was passed before us. Uncle Bazi Egad, Uncle Walter Reedy, Uncle from Molokai, George Helm, all Kupuna. We are connected. We are people, like for Gunter, for all our people that for TMTA, mahalo, you guys get you guys Ike, but our Ike come from our Aina here, from Wakea, and each and every one of you inside here, if you get one job cocoa, that cocoa go back to the Kumulipo, okay, that connects us to Mauna Kea. I get my 2 keikis we homeschooled. They're over here with me, right there. That's my baby boy, how old he? He just turned 8. This is part of his education. To know what is right, to be taught the truth, not lies, that we have been lied to over 122 years. I get my own Kanakas out there that was with me. That I get my good sister right there, Kilikina, and my brother Digi Kamana. They was warriors too. I used to think they was crazy. Oh, those crazy Hawaiians, but now I stay with them because I'm Allah, I wake up to know the truth. And Sister Mailani that I speak earlier, I commend her. She's 18 years old and she came up full TMT. I commend her. She would talk about courage and took courage for her to come up. But the courage I'm speaking of today is the courage of our Queen Iliuokalani. I compel every one of you over here, if you never read her story, please go out and get her book, The Queen's Story, and read her story. And you never go without crying, in her own words. That's the courage I speak of. And how, through her manao, that when it came time of the overture, our people was ready for a fight. But it was through her Ike and her manao that she said, Aole, And how significant is that? That they're in honor her and they're in stand on. Why? Because we would have been at a war with the United States and would have been a spoils of war. The United States would have took everything under the spoils of war. So the courage that our queen went stand for us, we got to stand for her. And all our kupunas that came before us. You know, I love everybody over here because we all get cocoa. We bleed the same blood, red. We belong to the same race, the human race. But Keokua put us Kanaka Maoris here. He gave our forefathers, yes, the Ike, for come here. No other place, most isolated islands on this planet. And our forefathers came here first. Nobody else. So everybody remember who was here first and who had love. And every indigenous people on this planet, they get love for the Aina. You take care of the Aina take care of you. You take care of the Aina take care of you. So, you know, I am Kamaha, but yet I'm excited. This is exciting times for us Kanaka Maoris. So, it's Kalamayao to the trustees. You know, and we watch every one of you during the proceedings. And we can see, we're not blind, we can see how you folks react to certain people. So, mahalo nui loa to come on our cab too, for standing up boldly in May, for send a letter out, and kind of like bring everybody kuka over here. You know, like Uncle Baji, I was talking to Uncle Baji Egat earlier. That's some true Hawaiian right there. If you ever read his book, the, what book was that, Uncle? The Sandalwood Diaries. That book is so maikai. But we come in love. Yeah. I love everybody. Even you, Gunther. Love you. Because we belong to the same race, the human race. But we stand for our Mauna. We stand for our Aina. And I stand for my kids, man. I stand for my mopunas that come in. And I love each and every one of my Kanaka Maoris. And Tita, like Tita said, when come time for stop, we're going to be hand in hand. So, kia kupu, mahalo.
Morning, Keali. I believe this would be our last beneficiary concern.
I just told her to be nice. Be nice,
And I said
Moani,
always.
okay? Be nice.
A handful of us started the Hawaiian movement in Kalama Valley 45 years ago.
Yeah.
I was one of the first 11 to be arrested on Mauna Kea, where the average age of that group was 52 years old. And we are very, very proud of the young people and the job that they have done, and it makes our heart feel great, us old timers. Mahalo nui loa to all of you. As a former trustee of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, I know it is the responsibility of you trustees of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs that you have a fiduciary responsibility to protect our ceded, seized Aina and our sacred Mauna Kea. You know that the DLNR and the university has not been doing that. For decades, the telescopes have been negligent in their use of Mauna Kea. As has been admitted, the impact on our water will not be known for years to come, according to the manager for the Mauna Kea watershed. The TMT document has admitted there will be irreparable and accumulative impact on Mauna Kea. Mauna Kea is a conservation district, yet it is an insult to have on a conservation district this 18-story monstrosity, the largest building on our Hawaii island. You here on Oahu are used to skyscrapers, but we don't want this monstrosity on the top of our sacred Mauna to add to its desecration while their almighty God is science. $1 million, their think tank. This $250,000 in scholarships, $750,000 for schools, can be replaced by charging fair market value for those remaining telescopes and their replacements of the obsolete ones. While you're at it, charge them back rent as well. We need to take care of the people here on earth with many problems, social and otherwise, in each of these countries. China, Japan, India, I've been there. A lot of poverty there and a lot of starving people. And the US, instead of investigating the outer reaches of the universe. We are not against science, but the TMT being placed on Mauna Kea. The Chile telescope will be 8 meters larger and can be built sooner, maybe built sooner, and will then be the world's largest telescope. So enough is enough. Please, trustees, take the right stand. Help to protect our sacred Mauna for the sake of our present and future generations. Mahalo nui loa.
I would like to thank all of those who have come up and spoke, but right now I'd like the board to go back to new business agenda, the new business agenda item, and I would like to open discussion with the statement first.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion.
I would like to make a statement first.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Elina mai me ke aloha. Mahalo to our public policy staff for putting in all the extra work to gather the information the board has requested, and we really do appreciate it. I wanted to start off sharing a statement about this project and the movement taking place in our community. I would like to thank each and every person who has showed up today, all of the leaders and organizations who have been working tirelessly to raise awareness about this and all the numerous issues affecting our community. With regard to the TMT, I want to say first, Trustee Apo, that I agree with you 100%. The magnitude of this issue is immense, and there is great potential, and the stakes are very high. The only point I was trying to make last week is that in order for us to maximize this opportunity, I feel we need to take a strong stance and need to do it quickly. I have also heard that those of us who have come out in support of the protectors may be clouded by emotion. So I would like to run through some facts in order to take the emotion out of the equation. First, 3 state audits of the University of Hawaii's management of Mauna Kea: 1998, 2005, and 2014. In 1998, amongst numerous other failings, the auditor found that the University of Hawaii management of the Mauna Kea Science Reserve was inadequate to ensure that natural resources are protected. In 2005, the auditor stated that the university still had critical management issues, such as unresolved public access control, weak permit monitoring, and indeterminate management plans that hampered the university's efforts to protect Mauna Kea's resources. And that audit also mentioned DLNR, who as the landowner did not provide a mechanism to ensure compliance with lease and permit requirements. In 2014, last year, the auditor found that through fiscal years 2009 through 2013, the Office of Mauna Kea Management collected almost $2 million in unauthorized fees from commercial tour operators. The auditor even stated that the office may be required to return those unauthorized fees to the tour operators. Audits covering a span of 16 years, all highlighting severe mismanagement by UH and DLNR, let alone the fact that the land is leased at $1 per year. They are derelict, and these are the facts. This is not about science. We need to make the UH and DLNR accountable to our community.
Alia, mahalo, allow the chair to continue.
Their voices have been ignored or brushed aside all these years. Nainoa Thompson was quoted in 1999 while he was a regent as saying, "This is really about abuse of the native people being subject to racism and disrespect." This is from 16 years ago. Why are the same people still fighting the same fight? Now I would like to speak from my na'au, every sign is pointing in the right direction. It's like a cosmic dance aligning. We have numerous stories throughout our history of ali'i who have made monumental impacts of change because they were leaders that stood with their people. Umia Liloa, Maili Kukahi, and Kauai's Mano Kalani Po come to mind. The people have come to stand with us. This is our opportunity to lead change with them, side by side. I cannot sit here at this very table where we preach over and over the need to empower our community, to reach self-determination, to make greater impacts in our community, and not vote to take a stand with our people. Self-determination is right at our fingertips. We have the opportunity to send a strong message that is no longer business as usual for Hawaiians. Kumuhina Wong have said it the best at this table. She pointed out that what you see happening is the fruit of OHA's labors. All of the money spent on education, support for programs, it has manifested in this movement. I have only been here for 3 years, but for all you trustees who have been here for extensive spans, you deserve the applause. You deserve the pat on your backs. And for helping plant the seeds that have sprouted into what you have seen today. You should all be proud to stand with them, and I hope we all do. In closing, the facts are on our side, and we need to stand with our people. Nothing further should be permitted on the Mauna, at the very least until a decommission plan is implemented, funded, and enforced. Therefore, as chair of the meeting today, I cannot make a motion myself, but I hope this board can take a strong position to assure long-standing issues are resolved. And
Mr. Chair, I asked you first.
yes,
The floor
and
first.
Trustee Hulu Lindsay had her hand up first. So if you would like to make a motion, that's up to you.
Mahalo, everyone. We just need to continue this given the time.
Yeah, well,
But mahalo.
No, but Mahalo felt real good, man. So continue, Hulu. Feel good.
Mahalo, Acting Chair. We received a phone call from Her Royal Highness, Princess Abigail Kinoiki Kekaulike Kawananakua, and she asked that we read this statement. The University of Hawaii was entrusted with Mauna Kea in 1968, being given a 65-year lease from the Hawaii Department of Land and Natural Resources. Over 17 years ago, in 1998, the Hawaii Legislative Auditor submitted a meticulous analysis of the University of Hawaii's abysmal performance over the prior 20 years. In 2005, a follow-up analysis was done, which was no less troubling. The most recent audit was last year, showing improvement, but continued failures. Taken together, these three independent reviews document a continued breach of the university's fundamental trust and responsibility for over 45 years. There is wide agreement regarding the importance of protecting Hawaii's unique cultural and environmental resources. Discussion and debate on the balance between preservation and development require an informed and objective analysis as that provided by the legislative auditor. Our state university must honor its commitments. The same must be said of the Department of Land and Natural Resources. Present leadership can no longer remain complacent and blame their predecessors. Knowing the value in every sense of Mauna Kea, not to just the first people of Hawaii, but to the world, how can they and how can we allow the abuse and neglect to continue? I support the protesters peacefully impeding further construction on Mauna Kea, while the auditor's recommendations are resolved and complied with. To ignore these transgressions is untenable. We stand together as one. We are Hawaii. Hawaii is Mauna Kea. Onipa'a ke kaulike. That being said, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to move that we rescind and oppose the selection of Mauna Kea.
Second.
Aliyah.
Second.
Mr. Chairman, I second.
Selection of Mauna Kea, Hawaii as the site for the proposed 30-meter telescope project.
Second.
Aliyah, everyone, Aliyah, please. The trustees need this opportunity to discuss. So we we ask for you to indulge, to allow the trustees this time. It's very serious.
It has been moved by Trustee Hulu Lindsay and seconded by
Trustee Akana.
Auahu.
Trustee Akana.
I said it first. 'Cause
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. It was Akana.
It has been seconded by both Trustee Ahu Isa and Trustee Alcana.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to offer an amendment to the motion.
Aliyah.
Yeah, this amendment needs to get a second, whatever it is.
I would move to amend to rescind the trustees' 2009 decision to support the TMT.
I second that motion.
Aliyah.
Okay. It has been moved by Trustee Apo and seconded by Trustee Machado. And I'm going to call for the vote right now. No, Secretary,
Unless there's
unless there's
discussion.
discussion?
Yeah.
Discussion.
I would like to explain why the amendment. While I know the sentiment is overwhelming to oppose, I prefer to try to use a scalpel to engage the stakeholders. It is about more than the telescope. This is about the management of the entire mountain. This is an opportunity for us to step back, go back to square one and begin to do things, for instance, calling for a deconstruction schedule with a timeline, calling for an ESPN review, calling for a review of the Mauna Kea Comprehensive Management Plan, calling for direct Hawaiian access to the telescopes that are already there, or some of them, Hawaiian access requiring cultural training, a full disclosure of the financial model. There's a whole range of moves and things that we can do to help completely change the way the mountain is managed, the way it's looked at, the way people, to go to Hanauma Bay, you got to go through a training, the training video. So why not for Mauna Kea? If we oppose,
Aliyah.
if we oppose the thing, I think we're going to take ourselves out of the field of play, and I think that would be a mistake. That's for my.
Aliyah, please, Aliyah, this is the trustees' time, okay?
Yeah.
So respect the trustees. This is a very serious matter, so we need your kokua.
Thank you, everybody. Trustee Akana.
Yes, I'm not understanding the rationale, because to rescind our previous position allows us to do all those things anyway. So that's why I would vote against the second motion. I think to rescind our position is where we need to be, so that we open up the scope again and go at it from a different perspective. So that's where I am. So I would not support the second motion.
Mr. Chairman?
My second was based on the inclusion in the motion to insert the 2009 resolution that we passed at the table. That's his only suggestion, is to insert the 2009 resolution.
Okay, let me explain.
Hang on. Trustee Peter Apple has.
Well, I
Do you have
think what-
anything, Trustee Peter Apple?
It'll negate.
Hang on.
It'll negate
Trustee
this.
Peter Apple, do you have something to say?
If you're going to oppose the TMT, you don't need the word rescind. I mean, it's not only redundant, it means something completely different.
Okay, Trustee Akana.
Yeah, I think that what Trustee Machado is talking about is something different, because if you rescind, then it becomes moot anyway. Anything that we did was moot. So everything becomes moot. And you start, zero again, so it's moot.
I'd like to call on Jocelyn Doan, and
Yeah, I
then
was just going to ask.
So
staff
just
to-
for some clarification, so the current board's position, as of 2009, the Board of Trustees' position is to support the siting of the TMT telescope on Mauna Kea. The resolution, Chair, that I'm sorry, Trustee Machado, that you're referring to, actually never got out of the committee. So the only thing that we're addressing right now is the position to support the siting. If I understand Trustee Hulu Lindsay's motion correctly, she is asking that we both rescind and oppose it, which is, ultimately opposing it. And then Trustee Oppose's request for an amendment to the motion is to just rescind and not oppose.
Alia, that's Polole. That's Polole. So
Trustee Colette Machado, do you have something to say?
No, that's the only clarification I wanted.
Okay, I'd like to call on Trustee.
But I want to
Alvarez.
go on record so you folks know, I will support only the rescind and not the opposing.
Yeah.
So when the vote comes down, as long as you folks understand that I'm going to vote to rescind, not to oppose.
Yeah, it's to rescind, that's the motion.
Let's
And
amend the
oppose.
motion.
That's not the
That's not the
motion.
motion that's been.
wait, let's
hang on.
clarify from board counsel.
Yeah, we're gonna get clarification from board counsel.
What Jocelyn said is correct. What you have in front of you is not two motions. You have one motion made by Trustee Hulu Lindsay to combine rescind and oppose. Then there was a motion to amend that motion to just say to rescind. That was seconded. It's being discussed now.
Correct.
So the first order of business is to vote on the seconded motion, which is an amendment to
The
just
first-
say rescind.
The original, yeah.
So what you have in front of you is an amendment to rescind the motion, and that needs to be voted on when discussion is finished. If that motion to amend passes, then you voted to rescind.
I didn't hear
Yeah,
that. Yeah, I didn't hear, I thought I heard her say to rescind. I didn't hear her say rescind and oppose.
I did say
Rescind and oppose.
Yeah.
She
You-
combined
And then you said you wanted to amend to
Rescind.
rescind, no, to oppose the TMT. Repeat your motion, so we don't get all confused here.
The motion was
It's an amendment.
for trustee to rescind its 2009 decision to support TMT.
That was your amended.
Once again, he made a motion to amend the motion which contained both options, rescind and oppose. That's correct? Yes. That's the motion. The amendment was just to rescind. That had a second. You're discussing it now. You have to vote. If you vote on it, it just means your position is to amend. To rescind, because the amendment passed.
Right.
And then we vote again.
And then you
on the
vote.
So trustees, are we ready for this?
Yes.
I wanted to say something, but I
Okay,
always
go ahead,
get
no, go ahead, go
overlooked.
ahead. I'm just getting excited.
I'm sorry, Chair. I give up my second, so Trustee Akana can have the second to the original motion.
You can have
Because
the second
everybody
back.
knows where I
Hey,
stand
it's a tie.
anyway. Okay, I want to read the Board of Regents, because not all the Board of Regents, we keep saying UH, all these regions. Chuck G is a region. I think his time is up this year. This is testimony. One of the most important sections of the EIS, Environmental Impact Statement, is the Cultural Impact Assessment, which is better, CIA, Cultural Impact Assessment. With the recent heightened media coverage, members of the public were combining the EIS and the CIA. As Kavika Villa commented recently on a column posted, they attempted to contact 60 people. Of the 39 responses, 4 were in support, the rest were opposed. 60 people represented the thoughts and beliefs of the Native Hawaiians that they contacted that day. After hearing many Manoa students testify in opposition to the project, Regent Chuck G., a He says he's a strong advocate for the students, pointed out that testimony that day was 4-1 in opposition to the lease. The minutes also captured Regent Jeffrey Portnoy's comments on testimony. Jeffrey Portnoy, he's an attorney. They felt rightfully wrong that they had not been included in the outreach programs. He continued, there is a lesson that can be learned that there may be island-located matters that are really statewide matters and significant, particularly Mauna Kea. It's on an island, but the relationship is to the whole Hawaiian community, regardless of they live on the Big Island, if they're students at UH Manoa on Oahu. In the future, Portnoy continued, when an issue like this can be anticipated, a larger effort can be made to engage more than just where the issue is domiciled. Thank you, Chair. That's all.
Okay.
Wait, one last.
Yes.
Discussion.
Yes, discussion, Mr. Chairman. I did not hear the opposed section, and I want to reconsider this. The reason I think that the amendment is important is because, as Peter says, when we rescind our approval to place that TMT, what it's going to do is send a very strong message to the legislature, to the university, and to the governor that the Office of Hawaiian Affairs is going to stand with our people. But it will also say that we now will be able to sit at the table and we're going to make sure that they do everything that they say they're going to do, and we're going to stand with our people. So I will support the amendment.
Aliyah.
Thank you.
Aliyah.
I'm going to support the amendment.
Trustee Apoliona.
As I said earlier, when we talked about the 2009 decision, the action that was taken, it was very clear that at that point in time, in 2009, it was important for Hawaii to have that opportunity to separate from the issues and discussions on Chile, okay? 2009, and it's come forward to the present time. I believe, well, there are things, other things in, as I'm listening and thinking, and some people have mentioned already, we're talking about Mauna Kea. We gotta talk from the top to the bottom of the ocean. That's what we should talk about. That's what we should be focusing on and challenging. We also got to be talking about the issues that go broader than that. Puhakuloa, as an example, and the military. I mean, it's all connected. Then we should talk about Haleakala. No, it's all connected. So what I think I hear Peter saying is the motion to rescind allows us, will clearly say to the community, we on the radar screen. We're on the radar screen. The voices have been heard. The voices have been heard and we're listening. We who have to make such decisions, we who have the systems in place, public, private, for us to make the changes, maneuver those changes on behalf of who? Hopefully our Native Hawaiian interests. That's what I see by Trustee Apo's effort to move this discussion in this way. We even talking about Kenku as far as Papahana Mokua Kea. That's what we're talking about, people, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just this chasm. It's not just this binocular look. And yes, it's very important. And the work the Kiai have been doing on the mountain, Pololei, we need to all be standing in many places together. And we all have different kuleana we have to stand with, or stand for, or deal with. These are the decisions that get made. These decisions at the table, the decisions in the community, they're all relate, they're all linked. If we are trying to move in a way that's gonna be the greater good for our community in total, that's what this action to rescind can mean, I believe. Thank you.
Trustee Machado.
With this action, if this motion passes, it will serve as notice to the governor of the state of Hawaii, the Board of Land and Natural Resources, and the University Board of Regents. It's telling them you continue to operate without administrative rules. The auditor proclaimed that you've been functioning up there to manage over the mountain without administrative rules. So that's one fault that has to be addressed. There's also another round of EISs need to be attended to. And this is where the kind of gathering that all of you have shown to raise that hard work through OEQC. But this is a notice. If OHA says it's rescinding its original position to rescind, then now we can go after the governor, we can go after the Board of Land and Natural Resources. So we kamaha you, we carry you on our shoulders for that purpose. If we oppose, they're gonna look at us and say, okay, push you guys on the side later. So I urge the trust. No, I'm just telling you what the politics are. You may disagree or not, but that's not the politics are in this. You know, we're Hawaiians and we struggle all the time with the ledge and we struggle with the political powers from the governor up. I'm just stating the facts. But with internal direction with the Office of Foreign Affairs, we have competent staff and we can bird dog this so that we will all be part of the same playing field. But this would be a notification to the governor and the land board and the new director, Suzanne Case to Maka'ala. They have no rules to operate and they continue to be given that authority. You heard today with the passing of the 65-year lease, it's going to end up 110 years that they're going to have control. Those are key areas that needs to be addressed. Who better than to be your bulldog at the BLNR table and at the governor? It's OHA. This is how we can work together. And this is how you bring out the truth and transparency. Believe me, this is how the politics are played.
Thank you, Trustee Machado. Trustee Akana.
Yes.
Followed by Trustee Apo.
Kalamai, I'm going to stand because I think that maybe we're not articulating exactly what you want to hear, but I tell you, as one of you, I give you my word. When I vote with this motion, I will stand with you. I will go to the university. I will stand against the governor and anybody else for you. I promise you this. I promise you.
Any more discussion?
We are not, we are for you. We are standing for you.
Okay,
Let me,
followed by Trustee Hulu Lindsay.
let me read it. The evolution of a people, the evolution of how we position ourselves in the world, whether we Hawaiians, Japanese, Filipino, one, is a matter of circumstance and opportunity. We will never have another opportunity to revisit and redo the complete 1.8 million acres of the public land trust. This is the window because we have something they want. I cannot tell you what it's like to go around trying to get support for Hawaiians these days. The community memory of the 70s is gone. It's gone. It's here. But if you go to the legislature, if you go down to the average Safeway, if you go to most places in Hawaii, people don't even know what you're talking about, right? So to try to position ourselves in a negotiating position so that we can really redo the state's trust responsibility to Native Hawaiians to the nth degree, this is the time. This is the moment. And that's all I'm saying. I don't have a crystal ball. I cannot tell you whether it will work. But if we leave the field of play, we're done.
Thank you, Trustee Apo. Trustee Hulu Lindsay.
Aloha mai kākou. My na'au is where my motion was, but I can see that I do not have the votes today. I think it is better for us to rescind the position of 4 years ago and stand behind all of you and move our lahui forward. So work with us so that we can do that. I cannot tell you the love that we have in different ways. You know, whenever we go to the different islands, we always say we bring the love of our colleagues, the trustees of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. We all feel differently, but one thing that's same is the love within us for our lahui. So I can only say that maybe there'll be a time that the board will have to stand in a stronger position. But for now, let us do this so that we can stand behind you. And you are welcome to come into our hale here anytime, ask whatever you need. And I know the trustees are open to that. So bear with us. We take one step at a time.
So that,
Ask her to withdraw.
so what?
I'd like to call for the vote.
What trustee,
Is there any other discussion on this board table? Is there any other discussion on this board table?
no, call for the vote. Call for it.
Okay, we're first voting on the amendment, and then after we vote on the amendment, if it passes, we're gonna still have to vote on the motion that Hulu,
The motion as amended.
then the motion has been amended, sorry.
You have to go on the, you have to vote
Got it.
on the amendment.
Yeah, on the amendment first.
Amendment right now.
Amendment
Yes.
is on the
It's just
board.
a simple.
Right there, it's on the board.
Amendment is on the board.
Just to rescind.
Chair, would you like me to read it before you vote?
Yes.
Okay. Before the Board of Trustees, we will be, the motion is to amend, to move that the Board of Trustees amend the motion to include rescind its support. And that is the support of the 2009.
Read the whole thing, come on.
Yeah, that amendment is to the original motion, move that the Board of Trustees rescind its support and opposes the selection of Mauna Kea, Hawaii as the site of the proposed 30-meter telescope. So on the current amendment, it is to move that the Board of Trustees amend the original motion to include only rescind its support. Aliyah.
Call for the vote.
Aliyah. Aliyah, everyone, please, we need to hear the vote.
A'ole.
Aliyah.
A'ole.
Aye.
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 Trustee Robert Lindsay, excused. Trustee Machado.
Yes.
No.
5 yes votes.
What is the outcome of the vote?
Well, now the original motion is amended to only say rescind,
And the
so
outcome,
you have to vote on that.
but the outcome of that vote was?
Basically the same.
No,
Amendment passed.
the outcome, yes, the amendment was.
The amendment passed.
Aliyah, everyone, please. This is serious
Yes,
business.
I'm clear, but tell me,
Aliyah, you heard,
but the
brother.
amendment passed with, how many, what was the vote?
5 to 2.
What, 5 to 2?
Yeah, he said
Thank you.
Now you gotta vote on the original motion. As a second,
So,
it's ready for either discussion or vote.
The table open for discussion on the motion up
That
on
was
the
the
board.
amendment to the original motion. Now you have to vote on the original.
The original
Correct.
motion.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
You know, I like to call a 2-minute recess. I want to get cleared on this thing. I really want to get cleared. Can I have a 2-minute recess?
Ole mākou I nele I ka home ole. No ka mea, a ole mākou I nele I ke aloha ole.
I vaina o ke kahi poe, ke no'ono'o ia nei o ke aloha, o ia koha vai I loea haku a ha'i poema o ke ia wā.
We've been pretty fortunate to have great winds on this particular voyage, and we're averaging about 7 to 8 nautical miles an hour.
I see that when I was negotiating for peace and compliance, I think complete run, you know.
6:33. The amended motion has passed. And what was amended to that motion, to Hulu Lindsay's motion, was she talked about rescinding and opposing. The amendment was just to oppose, so they took out the oppose, and now it's just rescinded. However, we still have to vote on the original motion.
As amended.
As amended to rescind. But I just want to tell all of you guys out here, I want to thank all of you guys for coming out. I know this is truly not the end, and the reason why is because we are not in support of it anymore.
But I wanted
At
to make
least
a
we're
motion to
rescinding. Hang on.
oppose.
Hang on.
Aliyah.
Okay, there's a motion on the board right now. There's a motion on the board right now, and that is just to rescind. We amended the opposition.
Separating.
We separated. So, trustees, do you have any discussion to make right now?
That is the motion.
Okay.
This is Trustee Lindsay's motion.
Yes, it's been amended, as amended.
And as amended by whom?
Peter.
Oh, okay, got it. This is.
What I want to explain to our people that are here, the thing is, if you can count the number of trustees on the table, there are 7 of us. And 4 are for rescinding and 3 are for opposing. So if 4 votes for rescinding and 3 votes for opposing, you will get nothing today, okay? So right now, that motion is on the board and we're gonna vote for it, okay?
We don't want to lose anything. Okay, so the final amended motion, move that the Board of Trustees rescind its support of the selection of Mauna Kea, Hawaii, as the site for the proposed 30-meter telescope project. Okay, this is
Roll call.
okay, roll call vote.
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Trustee Hulu Lindsay.
Aye.
Trustee Robert Lindsay excused. Trustee Machado.
Yes.
Trustee John Wahine excused. Vice Chair Ahuna.
Aikanalua.
Call his name again.
Vice Chair Ahuna.
Kanalua.
That's a no. One no.
1 no. 2
Okay, the motion passes, and we're gonna go back to the board table, open session. Is there any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you for your leadership at the table this morning. I know you filled in on behalf of our chair, Robert Lindsay, and I thank you for stepping in.
Thank you. Moving on the agenda. Next BOT Kauai Community Meeting, Wednesday, May 13th, 2015 at 6:30 p.m. And the next BOT meeting is on Kauai, Thursday, May 14th, 2015, 9 o'clock a.m. If there's anybody who has any discussion or announcements to make?
Move to adjourn, Mr. Chair. Move to adjourn.
Yeah. This meeting is adjourned.
Get your communities together. Kako e hana. Ya. He he ke ia. Ko na ale lava ka he. Ma ale ka ko kali. Me kala ni kira. Hoi. Hoi ko mauna. Hoi ko people. Ke kana ka e hana. Ai ko ba makau o ke mo arakai. E hui pula ko mako. Aka hiki ke lava. Mako ke kule ana. Mako no e hapai. Iki me kai olelo. Kai aloha aina I olelo ia makala e ono ke pa ke mapa I makai ki mi kumawalu kana I kuma hipu. O ko ai ki kau. E ku e a maulu aku I ke kukulu ia. O ke ohe na malun o mauna a ke a hiki I ke aloha aina ko pelo. O e holo ko mana mahalo ya.
The word, the name Mauna Kea is being uttered around the world. I never thought that this would really happen. And so it is just the answer to so many of our collective prayers. So warriors of peace are rising. We're going on this journey in a different way. You know, a lot of that eha, a lot of that hurt, that va is power already. Now we get to rise together and learn how to heal with each other and have compassion for each other. We're all in this evolution together. So let's not forget that. Let's not forget that it takes every single person, every single cell, every single face, every single word, every single song, every single chant, everything is important. And so it's a true honor, a true privilege to stand here with all of you. I feel so filled and so moved to see so many people here, so many people supporting from so far. What a beautiful life.
Carrying my mountain in my soul, guardian spirits, heart and I'm a warrior, warrior rising, spreading my message to every nation, igniting the fire in this generation, and I'm a warrior, warrior rising, spinning, revolving, taking me to a place where I am, sacred spirit soaring, and I know that the world is changing far too fast for me, but for now I'm chanting down Babylon. And who
I stand up for Hawaiian people and the Mauna. Mahalo.
do you stand for? Lift my voice up to the sky. Hear my spirit cry. Ela, ela, ela. keep your ceremony. And who do you stand for? And who do you stand for? Lift my voice up to the sky. Hear my battle cry. Ela, we stand for Hawaii. Oh yeah.
All right, let's welcome Lini Noi as she comes and graces us with her presence. Ka'uhi vai pi'i mauna. Yeah, so your hands, put your hands up. Now put your hands down, put them in the ground, mix it with the brown, it's that new sound. Even if it's day old, fresher than some pa'i'a. Yeah, so put your hands up. Now put your hands down, mix it in the ground, mix it with the brown, it's that new sound. Even if it's age old, fresher than some pa'i'a. Even if it's day old, ka, huli, ka, huli, ka, huli, kalima ilalo, ola, ka, huli, ka, huli, ka, huli. Ho'ohi o loika heva. It's the real revolution. Independent movement. Restore, regenerate, get rid of this pollution, collusion, intrusion, and all of this illusion. No I and aina, that's all just illusion. Just enough fight with just enough love. Ain't no lover or no fighter, cause we all of the above. Box my way out of these cages that they put us in with gloves. It's loud lima, now we doing it because ole mina ika pu'ukala. Ualava mako ika poha. Ku ika pono a ho'o mohala. Ku ika heva kamea e papa. Se ole mina ika pu'ukala. Ualava mako ika poha. Ku ika pono a ho'o mohala. Ku ika heva kamea e papa. Now I know that you're thinking that you might not understand, but basically we trying to get back our land. I know that you're thinking that you might not understand. I'm just trying to tell you what to do with your hands. Put your hands up. Now put your hands down, mix it in the ground, mix it with the brown, it's that new sound. It's age old, fresher than some pa'i'a, even if it was day old. Ka, huli, ka, huli, ho'ohi o loika heva, ola, ka, huli, ka, huli, huli kalima ilalo, ola, over there, ola, yee, aloha aina,
Aloha aina. Aloha aina.
Mauna Kea.
Kia I kukia I mauna. Kukia 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 I mauna. Kukia I mauna. Kukia I mauna. Ola Mauna Kea, ola Mauna Kea, Kahuli. Who do we stand for? Who do we stand for? Who do we stand for? Who do we stand
Eo. Kukia i Mauna. Kukia i Mauna. Kukia i Mauna. Mahalo anui loa to everybody who gathered here today. Mahalo nui to OEB TV. Mahalo to the crew. Mahalo nui to these brothers with the sound. Brandon with the sound. All of the musicians who came today. Everybody who brought food, brought water. Mahalo to Brandon on guitar.
Aloha.
Emma on bass. Mauna Kea on Mana'o. And aloha nui, I'm Havane. And this mahalo a nui.